Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Happy New Year. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Marquette Township Board, and it's 5:33, and we're going to start by saying the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Randy.
Trustee Winslow.
Present.
Trustee Kidda.
Here.
Trustee Leighton.
Here.
Trustee Everson.
Here.
Treasurer Rick Howard.
Here.
Clerk Rattari is here, and Supervisor Durant.
Here.
Staff present is Manager Kangas, our attorney Roger Zappa. Finance Director Kim Clark is here. Committee members present is Glenn Johnson, and he's our Iron Ore Heritage Trail representative.
Okay, thank you. Anybody wish to address the board before we get started?
You want Ken to jump in now?
Okay.
You want to jump in, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay,
How's everybody doing tonight?
good, thank you.
I wish I could try figuring out how to turn my camera on, but it's not allowing me for some odd reason.
Well, we can hear you just fine, so.
Okay. All right. I would have been there in person. However, I'm actually in Florida right now with my family. But what I wanted to bring to the board's attention was the performance bond or irrevocable letter of credit in replacement of. We're going on 22 years as being your waste hauler, dating back to 2004, and the performance bond or irrevocable letter of credit is coming for renewal. That cost me just over $2,000 a year to renew, and what I wanted to present to the board was an escrow account. Like, it kind of states in the contract to a little bit. However, I would like to set up an escrow account where I would put this $2,000 a year into this account, and then at the township's discretion or whatever you guys would like to use the money for, I'd rather see the money go towards the township in comparison to paying the bank for it. I think we built up a great reputation over the last quite a few years in purchasing new trucks, equipment, and kind of going at this together in comparison to just a waste hauler and a municipality. I think we built a long-lasting relationship, and I'd much rather see the money be spent at the township if it is improving parks and grounds, providing lighting for their ice rink, whatever the case may be, whatever the township would like to use the money for. I would rather have it go that route in comparison to just paying the bank for an irrevocable letter of credit. I understand you guys got some discussions to have internally, and that's great. However, that is my propose for moving forward, is to simply open an escrow account, allow North Country Disposal to fund that account $2,000 a year, and then we would put it back into the Marquette Township community. And that's all I have. I'm open for discussions. Questions, answers, whatever.
Any questions from the board? We're kind of off our schedule here a little bit because Ken was gonna come and then he remembered that he was going on vacation. So rather than make him wait. Obviously, this will have to go through legal. Ken,
Sure.
I had a draft copy of the contract, so we're only a couple of years into this one. It's 5 years
Correct.
with the possible extension of another year. So
Correct.
maybe we look at this and try to have something for the next meeting, unless somebody has some other comments that they want to air now. You'll be back in town, and then if you want to come back,
Sure.
John's got his hand up. Hang on.
Just
Sure.
a quick question. When does that letter of credit have to be renewed? Because that's kind of your deadline, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress right now. I'm working with Range Bank on it. I moved it over from EJ at First Bank to Range Bank a little bit, just for a couple different reasons. It's actually in the works as we speak, but Joel Benson had said that he would wait on it. I can simply relay to him. We need to kind of discuss and let you guys digest it internally, and we can discuss at next month's board meeting for a final answer.
Okay, didn't want to leave you hanging if you had a hard deadline to meet.
No, I appreciate that, John, but no, I think this is a work in progress. Even if it somehow doesn't happen this year, moving it in this direction, I think would be beneficial for the township.
Okay,
Thanks, Kat.
so we'll ask legal to look at that, and if he can get back to us in a couple weeks, the next meeting's the 21st. You know, if for
I'll be
some
there.
reason it doesn't work out, you know, we'll be in touch. I'll let you know.
Okay,
Does that
perfect.
sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, go get a margarita or something, for crying out loud.
No, I don't drink anymore, so
Okay.
we're just hanging out. I flew my mother down last second on Saturday. I called her. She wanted to come spend some time with us, and she said absolutely. So I booked her a flight, and she met us down in Florida.
Good, well, have a good time. We appreciate
I-
you zooming in on your time off.
Absolutely, I'm always here for you guys, no matter what.
Okay, we'll be talking to you.
I'm sure your
Thank
weather
you.
is better than ours.
I'm not gonna rub nothing in.
Okay, any response to what we heard?
Thank you.
We'll talk about it in a couple weeks. Okay. Tonight we need approval of the consent agenda, which consists of approval of regular meeting minutes of December 17th, 2025. We have bills payable in the amount of $118,864.05. No other committee or reports. I had some oddball information from the Solid Waste Management Authority that I added in here. I did want to highlight the hazardous waste, because people ask about that. There's a landfill schedule is in here, their days off. But the hazardous waste sheet is very informative. It tells you that the collections are free. You can bring these items to the landfill on specific dates. They're in here on red. May 7th, June 4th, July 9th, August 6th, September 10th, October 1st, or by appointment. And it's got all of the, household hazardous waste items that they can accept. Some people ask, I did have somebody ask me this the other day. Cleaners and polishers, batteries, household car batteries, artist paint, antifreeze, pesticides, fluorescent bulbs. So if you are listening to this and you want to know what these are, or go to Recycle 906. It also says the materials not accepted: asbestos, e-waste, explosives, latex paint, tires. You know, they have tires are handled separately. But it's good information. It tells you everything you need to know. Excuse me, so I did want to highlight that. And the financials on recycling are in here. I had mentioned that 75% roughly of their expense is payroll. So it's not that they aren't doing well financially with, $1 million worth of income. It's just that there's a lot of expenses. So I want to give them a little bit of credit because they're trying. And last board meeting, I was asked to separate the community leader reports. So I did get a hold of two of the ones that were duplicated, with having two at one meeting. I changed that, so I gave you a new updated schedule for that. So I just need approval.
I move to accept the consent agenda. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, then we just need approval of the remainder, unless there's some changes.
Yeah, I'll support that, removing the library report, because I think Paul will be here next meeting, so.
Thank you.
Is that okay, Dan?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, then let's start with Glenn. Mr. Johnson, Iron Ore Heritage Recreational Liaison.
All right, thank you, Lynn. Hello, everybody. I'm Glenn Johnson, our representative to the Heritage Trail. Bob Hendrickson, the director, wanted to make it here tonight but couldn't. He had a previous commitment, so. But everything's going well with the trail. We've had 3 new municipalities join, Ely Township, Republic, and Humboldt Township recently. So that helps with the trail from Chocolate Township all the way out to Republic. Representatives from those municipalities were added to the board, and we've been working together for a while, and it's a very cohesive group, so I wanted to share that with you. It's going well. My reason for attending is that John Becker, the chairman of the board, the Heritage Trail Board, who replaced Don Britton, might have been about a year ago. One of the things he asked is, I thought it was a great idea. He wanted each representative to work with or ask their municipality kind of for a wish list for things on the trail. I really like that idea. And so I reached out to Lynn, and Lynn thought it would be good for me to just come to the board and mention that. And I guess find a good way to pass that information on to me if you hear from township residents or whatever you guys think, and I'll be glad to just bring it to the board. And it's kind of a wish list. Not all things on your wish list gets approved or implemented, but kind of things that we're hearing out in the community that they would like for the trail. So just feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I don't know, Lynn, if we want to funnel things through or just think about it, or
Yeah, I did mention to the board, knowing you were coming, to kind of think about it in the last couple of weeks. Anybody got any ideas? Are you using the trail? Are you hearing anything, John?
My engineering mind has one recommendation, and I'm sure you can make it happen.
okay.
I'd like to have all the elevation that's in Marquette Township be properly distributed across the entire trail.
I would like that. I have been known to get a ride in a Agani and then ride back. I'll let everybody know about
If the
that.
bulldozers are
Appreciate that.
I was just thinking about more lighting when I'm using it, and I think of that partly because the canopy is so intense through the township, and for a lot of people that's neat, and I do like that too, but it is dark, so you're kind of limited in your day, especially spring and fall, when the days are shorter. So lighting, open the canopy maybe,
Okay.
solar lights, and then I was thinking about benches. Those are the only two things that I could think of. I think in the beginning we had some Boy Scout groups or something that were making benches in some of the areas, mostly in Negaunee, I think.
Yeah, they were doing that before. I haven't heard of it happening recently.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was on in the beginning.
So maybe the church in the mall area, who always asks us for projects, maybe that could be our project, make some benches.
Yeah.
And I think that people, if they want to buy a bench, is there an avenue to do that? I know at Presque Isle Park, they can buy a bench to be put at the park. I don't know if your group has an avenue for people to buy a bench and have it placed in the trail.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
like to do that.
Absolutely no.
Well, because we started out with mile markers, so there's quite a few mile markers more on this side versus the other end of the township. Benches, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Or even a seat, it doesn't have to be big. Because one of the things that we talked about when I first got on the board was the lack of being able to get to, out to 41 in the stretch of the township. So, in fact, there was one breakdown, I remember, I think it was a woman too, not that that matters, but she didn't have any place to sit, and her bike broke down, so she just kind of had to walk, and she didn't have any way to get out to the highway or some kind of a road, 492 or somewhere.
Right.
So some kind of, I don't know, that's long range,
Yep.
worrying about buying property or getting easements or something.
Okay.
Those
Thank
are the
you.
only things I thought about.
Oh, that's all good. That's very helpful. And I like your idea that, the benches and love to go to the lake, so we bought a bench in her name. And
Yeah,
so
I think
it
you'd
kind
have
of
people
is-
do that. And it doesn't have to be in memory of, it could be in celebration of,
It's even better.
yeah, right, in celebration.
Yeah. One thing I did want to mention, and I think Lynn forwarded, you said you forwarded on the Koski land project that we're gonna be working on in the next couple of years with the NTN and the Cayman Trail Network, where they're gonna add some additional trails right off of the Heritage Trail. I think that'll be a neat project. So there's detail in that package.
Yeah,
Lynn
it's
sent
pretty
out.
good, and it's just 12 pages, which is even nicer.
It's a quick
not-
read.
It's not so hard to read.
Yep, it's a quick read.
Beautiful area.
Yep, and then I did want to mention one of my important things. I am very concerned, obviously, about safety. We did install one of those flashing signs that's on 492, and that stopped working. It broke last year, so I am asking Bob to make that a priority, to get that flashing again. So,
Yeah, I think my husband's called him 2 or 3 times. And
Has he?
Yeah, we're working on it. He uses the trail a lot.
yep. So thank you, and
How did the trail fare with the little storm that we had?
I haven't heard any complaints or anything with any downed trees or anything.
Wow.
But, so that's a good thing. Usually when it's bad, I've heard complaints about beavers though, up further on the trail, not in the township, but when you go west, cause a lot of flooding.
There's people that can take care of those.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Happy New Year.
Appreciate it, you too. Okay, food for thought. All right, community linkage, speaking of the public, the assessor forum, I think I mentioned to you that we had here a couple weeks ago was very successful. And I forgot to mention it to Dulcie. I had at least a half a dozen emails from participants saying it was so great. So what, and maybe I mentioned this the last meeting, what Dulcie said was that she's gonna work with the state to find out how those participants can get state credit for attending her meetings, because it's 90 minutes. And we've got title companies, realtors, and bankers. And if anyone has any continuing education they need, that's a good way to get it. So the next one we have next year, hopefully that'll be in place. And I just wanted to do a late thank you to Media Brew for our Christmas tree. I haven't seen the lights on lately, but and all the work they put into that was pretty good. It's always nice to have somebody do that for the township. And yesterday I met with Anna from Respect Marquette County. If you remember, Heather was the one that, maybe you don't remember Heather, but she was the Travel Marquette employee who gave the presentation for us when the Respect Marquette County faction kind of broke off, and we were the ones that kind of said it needs to say county, if you remember, so they did implement that. But Anna's the new person, and so we spent probably an hour talking about suggestions, ideas, problems, anything that would pertain to tourism and local use of any of our recreational assets, not just trails. Whether it's fishing or biking, or, you know, what happens to the trash, and how do you walk around mud piles or mud holes and not wreck the trail, or don't be picking flowers or whatever, you know, respect. Let me think what that called. The offshoot to Respect Marquette County is, should have written it down. Anyway, there's the sister group or whatever that kind of works with them, that's worldwide.
Leave no trace.
Yes, thank you. Leave no trace. They're the ones that are kind of spearheading what happens with Respect Marquette, because they're working as partners, but they also want public to be involved. So if there are people that want to get on those committees, they're welcome to talk to Anna recycling and waste management and trees and trails and hiking and not having internet coverage and people walking to the ice caves without any boots on and, education and communication and trying to get the word out, what Marquette's like, and how hard the city works with trying to keep people safe down at the island and not jumping off in dangerous spots and not going out on the breakwater and, it's just one big thing. It isn't just trails. She's gonna come and do some kind of a presentation once she talks to everybody that's on the current committee. So I was one of them. So I gave her an earful. Are you hearing anything? Did you talk to anybody at Christmas time? Nobody stopped you in the stores? I had a medical center employee stop me and saying, "You're doing a good job. Tell your board you're doing a good job." So we're doing a good job. That was good to hear. And the lady at Super One says, "Well, what's going on? What are you going to do at your meeting this week?" So I told her, it's committees. That's our next thing. So I think people are happy. Hope so. If not, we'll know.
That's it.
Yeah.
If they're not happy, they will be right here complaining.
Yeah.
Must be okay.
They're great, okay. Our only policy discussion tonight is going to be committees. I've got 8 spots open. I have 4 who are interested in filling those spots, refilling, I should say, and then 1 appointment. So I've got open seats on the Zoning Board of Appeals. 1 is an alternate and 1 is a 3-year term. And a Board of Review alternate, which probably wouldn't even get used much, but you never know. That's only a 2-year term. But for tonight, I'm asking that you accept my recommendations of Jim Johnson for the Planning Commission for a 3-year term ending, all of these are ending December 31st of 28. Danny Ferraro for the Planning Commission, Christy McBride for the Rec Committee, and Tom Fury of the Rec Committee. All of those people are currently on those boards, but they also reapplied, and I didn't have any other applicants for those positions. And then we have a new person, Grace Simula, who would like to be our second member of the TAC Committee for the library, and that's to complete a 3-year term, also ending December 31st of 28. Are you
Also-
Grace by any chance? Okay. We spoke, but I never met you. Do you want to come and say hi?
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Sometimes when I invite committee members, they come, and sometimes they
Yeah,
don't.
I've never been to a township board meeting before.
Great.
I've lived here for about 12 years, so it's fun to come and say hello and express my interest.
Thank you for coming.
So I'll second your recommendations. So
Okay.
you'll be the motion maker, I'll be the second.
Okay, questions? Any questions for Grace? We already talked about the library and what that involves. Did Andrea reach out to you yet?
Not yet, but that was just last week, so.
Yeah, and I just emailed her yesterday,
Okay.
your contact information. I should have asked you if that was okay, but I
Yes.
figured rather than her going blindly or listening to the meeting.
Sure.
So she'll be reaching out to you.
Sounds good.
And you said you knew Paul.
I do.
So, you can get pointers from him and share or whatever you want to do.
Sounds good.
Okay, great, thanks for coming. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
The 2 planning reps will need to be sworn in again.
Yep,
So I'll,
already took care of Denny, and
okay,
I'll see Jim Wednesday,
perfect, next week,
next week. yeah.
okay.
And just a reminder, we meet at 6.
Yes.
The planning commission meets at 6 now.
Yeah. Yeah, just make sure you get those old sheets to me.
Yep, I got one on my desk.
Okay, thank you.
Any public comment? Okay, announcements?
I got one anyway. Well, when I was looking at my email, Mr. Sedgwick from MAPS was conferring with us to see when he should come and do his presentation. And he kind of alluded that they are gonna put the bond, their bond up to a May vote. So it looks like we will have an election on May 5th. There's no early voting, it's just one day. And I'll get more information, but they usually don't file their stuff until the last moment, so, but as of now, I'm planning for a May 5th election. So, that's all I have. So the residents, the ones that are on the permanent ballot list will get their ballot when we get them. So there's no, so once we get them, we'll mail them out to you. If you don't want to vote on that, just discard it. And shred it or tear it up or whatever, because we don't want it to go anywhere that it's not gonna be secure, so.
Is that on the township dime or?
No, this will be cost neutral for us. So we'll keep track of all our expenses, and then once the election's over, we'll bill the school and they'll pay us, so. Just a reimbursement type thing.
Is this something we share with Powell Township too?
Nope,
Because
nope,
we're
not this
considered
one.
county.
Nope, not this one. We will share early voting with Powell Township in August and November. But this is just gonna be a special school election for their school district, so. And we're in their school district, so. That's all I have.
Any other announcements? Okay, Mr. Manager, what can you share?
I need a drum roll, please.
Okay, ready?
No.
Yay!
The moment you've all been waiting for, we closed on the 5-acre parcel today. The money is in the bank, it's just pending, so you can't spend it yet. But I have a suggestion for you to consider maybe at your next meeting to think about. I know the prior board made the decision that when that property sells to use that $500,000 or whatever the amount would be on the debt for this building, which I still think is a really good idea. But there may be a priority that you could consider also, and I'll just plant the seed, it's additional property behind the fire hall, which is currently on the market. I don't think we want the whole thing, but if we wanted to consider a part of it to add the space we need there for the storage building we've talked about, it's on the priorities over by the wall. A little more space would help. It maybe doesn't even need to be a full $500,000. My guess is the cost per acre will probably be more than what we got for our 5-acre parcel, but something to think about. The only other thing is, Kim, Michelle, and I met with 5 of the officers for the paid-on-call department last night. We had a good discussion, but the long and short of it is it re-emphasized the need for us to get this committee going to talk about the future of that department, the needs they have from a staffing perspective, the costs associated with it, how we pay for it. It's going to be a lot of work. We're recommending 2 members of the board to that committee, along with the fire chief, who doesn't necessarily have to be voting member, could be a resource like myself or Kim or Michelle, however the committee wants to set it up. But Dan, Kim, Michelle, and I will have to be involved because we're gonna have to crunch those numbers to let the board know what the impact is going to be if we come up with a solution that we think we should recommend and ultimately have to ask the taxpayers to pay for. So the fire department, obviously Dan, the assistant chief Shetter, and, well, I can picture his face, Captain Greg Sharp, are the members that they would like to have involved. I mentioned myself, Kim and Michelle, and 2 board members if we can get that, and then we're gonna have to get rolling because it's going to be a lot of work. So whoever it ends up being is gonna have to commit to a lot of night meetings like the rest of us, just so you know. Because the paid-on-call guys work day jobs too, so.
So 2 board members versus 3? I mean, not,
If you decide you want it to be 3 board members, that's fine. We want to make sure that the committee can be productive based on how much work is ahead of us. So the bigger you make it, the less productive it's going to be no matter what. And that's why I don't even need to have more than an advisory role in this. I shouldn't be voting on stuff to recommend to the board. I should only be helping wade through the minutia.
So I do not want to be considered to be a rep. I do not. I have family that's on that department, so not me.
Okay. How often do you see this meeting taking place?
Well, the committee's gonna have to decide that, but if it doesn't meet frequently, I'm gonna say bi-weekly. We're probably not going to meet any kind of schedule to have decisions made on time. If anyone remembers seeing the chief's report in the last packet, their staff is already pretty stressed. The paid-on-call folks that are reliable are pretty stressed. We have challenges with the ambulance, especially for overnight calls, because the people that have to respond have a job to go to in the morning. I think that's probably the biggest concern we have to solve somehow. We need to have answers for that, and ultimately, it has to be paid for. And we can't print money, unfortunately. We're not the federal government, and just run on debt. It's not a good idea anyway. I wouldn't advise it. Are there some options with the general fund? Possibly, but I wouldn't recommend that either, other than for a trial period, knowing that there has to be a long-term solution that replaces it at a set date. The same way we covered the reclassifications in that department for the full-time employees a year or two ago. There was no money in that year's budget to pay for those reclassifications. So we covered it with excess marijuana excise tax revenue for the remainder of that calendar year, and then Dan had to tighten his belt in the rest of his budget for the years following, and that's gonna always be the case, so. And then, of course, it's never fun to go to the taxpayers and ask for more money. I mean, everyone's asking them. We just heard the clerk say the school's got a, what was it, 60 million?
56, 52.
52. So,
Million, 52 million bond proposal they're looking at.
yeah, I don't think we're anywhere near that.
I would think not.
So not.
If that's the case, we're in trouble. I probably don't want to be here for that.
No.
So anyway, if there's a couple of board members that would like to be on that committee, I think they should probably be appointed as soon as possible. If you need time to think about it, we can probably wait 2 weeks for the next meeting, but that's up to the 7 of you.
Thoughts?
Throw my hat in the ring, Jim, and I got a little background in that.
That could be good or bad.
Could be good or bad. Depends on, I mean,
We're gonna be looking for people that are flexible in their mindset. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? It's going to take
History
great
plays a
compromise to get to a solution
Yeah.
that we think
History plays a part.
the taxpayers put their full faith and trust behind. And I'm kidding, of course.
Take my name off.
Well, John's retired, so he has a little more time, but I'm not committing you, I'm just making observations. Andrew's evenings are probably busy or not.
Evenings would be tough.
So Dan, I think it's a good idea for you to be there. You have like some, I'll call it historical knowledge.
Not
And you
according to our
have,
manager.
Yeah. Well, you also have some work knowledge.
Wait a minute,
No.
what did I say?
No.
Well, you don't have to listen. He's, yeah, he doesn't get to choose.
He has to give
That's very true.
recommendations on everything.
Right,
I only had 45 years in that service, so
yeah.
that's not much, but,
Well,
you know.
well, I'll make a motion, because we can still make motions, that I appoint Carl and Dan to the fire department committee.
I'll
What is it?
support that.
What is the committee called, John?
We don't have a name yet. They're gonna name themselves.
So say it's fire department committee.
Fire Department Strategic Planning Committee.
There you go.
There you go.
I can be quick on my feet once a year.
Okay, that'll be in the motion, then fire department strategic planning committee, which is good, because they need to do that.
Okay. All in favor?
Right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Before you take a vote on that, I've got some limited background information of what the committee might be doing, and maybe I ought to be meeting and getting more information on that, because the committee is going to need to act quickly, and we are going to want to make certain we don't have any inherent conflicts coming up in this. I'm not sure what those might be, but maybe a discussion between myself and the manager and possibly the chief between now and the next meeting. And I'm just throwing that out there, that depending on what issues come up, we want to avoid any appearance of conflict even on it. Not saying there are or aren't any, but I think we ought to walk into that a little bit more slowly.
So maybe I'll rescind the motion and I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. How's
Or
that
you
sound?
can make it subject to attorney
Well,
verification. It's up to you.
we don't have an, yeah, I'll rescind my motion and I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting, because I don't think 2 weeks is gonna break the back. And then you guys had a couple of weeks to talk about it and see if there's any.
Okay.
I rescind my motion. Do you rescind your second? Okay, so then nothing happened.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else? Any questions for the manager? Okay. You wanna review our half a dozen motions?
Yeah, first motion was the consent agenda as presented. The second motion was the approval of the regular agenda as amended, removing library report. The third motion, let's see, the third motion was to approve Supervisor Durant's committee recommendations, and that was approved. That's it.
Okay. So the next one will be the fire committee. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, fire committee.
Okay. So that'll be January 21st. That's the next meeting. Any other board member comments?
So I just want to remind everyone, I know it's winter, but it'll be summer soon, and Community Day will be August 1st this year, the first Saturday. So anyone in the audience or listening to this particular meeting, if you are interested in volunteering, just send an email. You can send it to myself, or you can send it to John, who will get it to me. So we love volunteers.
Nothing else? Dan,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 6:12. Thank you.